Hey everybody, Kelly Rissy here, and I am super excited to be bringing you one of my clients today and have a little interview with her and just talk about her journey through coaching and since we've known each other and also through the pandemic. So Christen Perry, who is the owner of Classic Travel Connections agency, as well as a travel consultant, and she'll tell more about that in a minute. But we met, Christen, in 2021 through a mutual friend. And it was at a time when the industry was still pretty low. And I was invited to come and speak on one of your meetings to your independent agents on the mess of stress because
Correct.
you all were really feeling that at that time. So I kind of want to go back to that. And if you can even remember that far back and put yourself in that position of even just when I spoke on the mess of stress, what was going through your mind and what made you decide to let's talk about where you were first. Let's go there. Just where were you when we first met?
So the travel industry in general, I believe everyone, not a single person has not been affected by the events of the last 2.5 years in the pandemic and all that, you know, every single aspect of that caused in our lives and in our businesses and just, emotional and all of those things. But I do believe just being in the industry and having been in the travel industry for us since 2004, however many years that is now, it's the hardest thing that I have ever been through as a business owner. And then leading a team of approximately 30 people through the pandemic was such a heavy load to carry, just personally. So bringing myself through and trying to stay upbeat, positive, and trying to be realistic, but also positive was really, really difficult. And then, like I said, bringing a team along with me and trying to get us all in one place together was not easy also.
Yeah,
So,
you were in a position where you had to provide hope for
right.
30 people when you might not have been feeling quite hopeful
I
yourself,
didn't
right?
have a lot of hope.
Yeah, and I remember that when we first spoke, it was kind of the lack of motivation, the lack of structured time, the lack of accountability, all really because of what was going on, right? Because you had these habits in place at one time,
Right.
right? And then all of that kind of compounded. And I know that you also, I remember you saying, I feel like I'm putting out fires all the time.
I do. I feel like from March 2020 and even still sometimes, honestly, I feel like my Monday morning as I get up and I come to my computer and I should be wearing a firefighter's outfit. And with a hose, because I feel like that's what I do most Monday mornings is just, taking care of issues that have arisen over the weekend or that are going to, preempting what's about to happen the rest of the week. So, and yes, 2020, we took such a big hit. It really was like we were just knocked on our backs and immobilized. And then as travel started to come back across the globe and in the United States, it created such a surge for us that was so different from what we did in 2020 that we had to really have a mindset shift on the way we did business and how we just how we went about our day and how we restructured. We had to restructure our whole business, and we still are in the process of doing that. So when I met you in 2021, that's where we were, is just trying to figure out how to do things differently. And it was really, really stressful in that, I mean, when the surge came back big. And the things that we put in place at that time have helped me so much. And I know we're going to get into that a little bit more to deal with what we're dealing with now, which is even a bigger surge. So
Yeah, the travel agent industry has been so interesting. What made you pull? I mean, we know we talked about you had the stress of the pandemic and having zero income basically coming in. Then you went to this surge of, oh my gosh, now everybody said, I have to get out of my house. Like, we got to travel somewhere. So now you're busier than ever.
great.
What made you decide to pull the trigger after I spoke and actually hire a coach?
Well, I think just realizing, and it's not that I didn't know the effects and the physical effects, the mental effects, and the emotional effects that the last year had on me, because I was very aware of that, but I didn't know quite what to do with it. And so I
Mm.
knew that I needed help to pull myself out of that state of where I was, just kind of like just spinning my wheels all the time and not
Yeah.
feeling like I was getting anything done, and not being able to focus on maybe not focusing on what was important because I was so focused on what was urgent. And so it was, I needed the accountability from someone else to help me, because I was holding so many other people accountable to doing the same thing, but I wasn't taking care of myself. So that's what made me realize I'm a little bit in a pit and I need some help getting out of it.
Which is so common in high level leaders like yourself, because you have your family, you have your staff members, and you have an entire team of independent contractors underneath you, right? So
Right.
you were really trying to pull it all together, hold it all together, make sure that everything was happening for them. And so I love what you said about just having that accountability and support for you. We, as women, I feel like sometimes we think we can be superwoman and, that I can do it all. And it's often very helpful to have someone walk along beside us who can help us see our blind spots, who can help us shift our mindset, just with quick little things. So with that, like how was it working with me as a coach?
So it was great because I loved working with you and still do,
Thank
actually,
you.
because you really helped me to focus in on um, what I needed to focus on. And then, where was I deficient? Where was I doing well? And what did I need to do better? And what things did I need to say no to so that I could say yes to other things? And not only that, and I kid you all the time about the action items, but without action items, I'm a goal oriented person. I'm a task oriented person, and I have to have it in front of me, seeing it to be able to get there. So you are constantly putting action items in front of me that the next week you held me accountable to doing, or to have been done. So that was very, very helpful for me. Like, probably the most helpful thing for me was just constantly reevaluating every week. Are these still your goals? Are these still the action items that you're trying to get to? And what is the ultimate goal? And what is the ultimate why of what, just going back to the past and figuring out things, um and really, and this too, what we started out with as my goals is not where we ended up as my goals.
Yes,
So
I tell the story kind of funny, like not funny, but Kristen came to me because she wanted to lose weight.
right.
And then what happened was
Kristen did not lose weight. Well,
was like Kristen put in healthy habits,
she
right?
did
You
put in
did
healthy
that.
habits.
I always say if we put in healthy habits and weight loss happens, hot diggity. However, I feel the important thing for you is that we started working together and we uncovered, or you brought to light more. Maybe it's because we cleared some stress and some of the fog about the other things, that those urgent, right? We figured out how to handle the urgent things. So you could then start your, what I'm going to call your dream project,
Right.
that had just been in the back of your mind rolling around. And like, share, do you even like the journey of bringing that to light and what that has done for you personally, professionally, and your income? I mean, seriously, this is a big thing what you did.
So there's so much about that I could talk about. And it really, number one, I'm a teacher at heart. I have an elementary education degree. I taught school for many years. I taught elementary all the way to high school, and I love teaching. I love my role as a teacher within my company, within my team of advisors. And so, it's just part of who I am, and what I love doing. And I also love our travel industry. I love what we do for people. I love what we do for humanity. I love what we do to connect, to make connections all over the world. And I think that what we do is such a healing
Mhm.
project when you are able to provide experiences for families that may heal relationships. And so I just love what we do. I love teaching. So putting that all together and being able to bring a new arm to my business, I suppose, a new extension of my business, and being able to teach and coach people outside of my own team has always been a dream. It's been something that I've done kind of on the side, but not officially. And so throughout the process of working with you, then I was just able to bring that dream to life. And just very, very recently, I have officially launched my new business, which is Christen Consulting. I had my first I've spoken at agency at industry events for several years.
Mhm.
But I had my first paid industry event speaking engagement several weeks ago. So it's just kind of pushed me to make it happen and not just leave it, kind of,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, half-assing it in my brain.
Yeah. And one of the things that I remember back is one of the first things you also wanted to do is you're like, I want to work a 4-day work week. Okay, that was a big thing for you. And I know that now you're taking off Friday afternoons, right? Because you said, I will do this interview with you and then I'm done for the rest of the day. And not only did you start doing that, you were able to reclaim enough time back into your day to take an entire day to now be doing this new consulting business that you have. I mean, that's huge for you to gain back time. You found time to exercise, to work on healthy habits. You're still supporting your team in the best way possible. Her independent agency, what contractors, they are so lucky to have you. And you still found a whole nother day to do something that you love. Like, that's what I love. 2 days
Yeah.
to really create that. That's huge, because there are people that are very stressed and running around from here to there and can't imagine reclaiming time to do something like this dream project, and yet you did it. So kudos to you. You are one of the best clients because you followed the action steps. You followed your plan.
And I appreciate you saying that. I did my very best, and there are still things that I still need accountability for, like that 4-day work week and the afternoons on Friday off also.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because I don't hold fast to my own boundaries, which I think is such an issue with women,
Yeah.
boundaries.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
and now the way that you work with me, I'm able to go back and work with other women in the same way, and I love that. I love it.
One of the things that I do with my clients is I offer the now my clients start off with this. We did things in a little bit different order for you, but still so effective is the 1-day mental and emotional breakthrough. And that is the deep dive that really looks at negative emotions, limiting beliefs holding you back. And when those things happen, they show up in your life, which then shows up in your business, which then shows up kind of in all relationships and everything we do. So can you tell me a little bit about how you felt going through the breakthrough, and then what changes have you noticed since then?
Yeah, so we did, gosh, when did we do the breakthrough? We did our breakthrough.
Was it January or February? It was in February because it was snowing.
Okay, there was snow on the ground. That's correct. Yeah, so we did our breakthrough and had my breakthrough, I guess, is what we would call it, in February. And that it was something I was a little anxious about because I'm not super keen on revisiting old emotions and, and
Mhm.
things like that. I would rather just put them aside and
Mhm.
not. But it was such a great thing for me, because really what it has caused me to do and has helped me to do is to reframe all of those past hurts and all of those past negative emotions, all of those past limiting beliefs that I have, placed on myself, and I'm able to, and I actually do this frequently, is to just kind of talk myself. I learned how to talk myself out of those negative emotions and those beliefs. And so it was just another mindset shift that has taught me how to deal with things that, um, that were either hurtful by other people or that I hurt myself, the things that I did to myself over the course of my life, and things actually that haven't even happened yet. Just
Mhm.
knowing how to deal with them in a different way than I've done in the past. Is that I don't know
Yeah,
if that makes sense,
yeah.
but that's
And
how I saw
it's such a unique process that it's even
Yeah,
hard to explain, right?
right. Mhm.
But did you have any idea that you could, let's say, reframe, heal, clear up, because mental and emotional stress, like we're stuffing stuff down, right? And our
Right.
body, our unconscious mind knows we're stuffing stuff down. And so it can still affect us in our health. But did you have any idea prior to this that you could release and reframe those things in one day? One day, like not.
Yeah. No, I did not. I didn't have any idea that it would be possible in one day to cover the amount of things that we covered in that time, but then to also like just have that little switch in my brain. I didn't. I wasn't expecting that at all.
And do you feel like you have found new freedoms?
I do feel like, yes, I could say that, yes, I found new freedoms. And
Mhm.
the amount of time that I spend focusing on all of the things that we just talked about, the negativity and um, the emotions that we, and again, I'm going to say women deal with a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, it
Yeah,
was,
because that's time and energy, negative stuff rolling around in our head, triggers, people that do something and trigger us into that, whatever. Like that takes time and energy. And
right,
as a successful business owner, now really running two businesses, we don't have time for like nobody's got time for that, right?
right. No,
Yeah.
you're so right. You're so right.
Yeah. So for you, where would you say, and we still coach together, right? So like you said, you're like, I still like the support. I still like the accountability, which, I have as a coach, I have coaches as well because I need the same thing for myself. So I do believe when people understand what having a coach does for them, where would you say you are now compared to where you were?
Compared to where I was when we started,
Hmm.
Um, compared to where I was when I started working with you, I would say I am in a much healthier state emotionally. I I do believe that I have made a tremendous amount of progress in the area of boundaries and to my yeses be yeses and my noes be no, and that to do what to stay within the boundaries that I've put forth for myself and for my business and for my personal life. I feel like I have much more healthier work habits in that I am not working 14, 15 hours a week and on the weekends and at night every day. I do
Hmm.
sometimes have to do that because, I realize my job is very, very different in that I travel a lot. So there's things that I have to do in my in off hours. But I enjoy my downtime a lot more. I'm a lot less stressed. Yesterday I actually took time to spend with two people, work friends, but we weren't working, and I left my desk early to go hang out with my husband in the afternoon. And the whole time I was thinking, it's been a long, long time since I've not felt stressed or that I felt relaxed and that I have felt like I'm I have left things in a place that I'm comfortable just coming back tomorrow and starting all over again.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
I know it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, 2 things came up for me for that while you were speaking that I was kind of remembering as you were talking about that. One is the being able to do that without the guilt.
Right.
Right. And the second is you mentioned stress a couple times in there. Do you feel like that you have really been able to put new what I call stress management techniques and strategies in place for you so that when this type of stress comes up, I can use this strategy. When this type of stress comes up, you know what I mean? Do you feel like you have just a really good set of tools in your toolbox to handle that?
I do, actually. I do. Yes. I mean, to the most simple thing that you're asking, I feel like I know when I need to stand up, leave my desk, walk outside, and walk around the block 3 times. Or just go, there's a little bench across the street from my house that I can just sit in the sun for a few minutes and regroup. And where
Mhm.
before I just force myself to just, keep working, next task, next task, next task. But I
Yeah.
know that, you have to cut it off sometimes. So, and that's just one simple solution that
Yeah.
I've learned about myself.
Yeah. I feel like in the stress management, the world, there's things like that, like get up, take a break. And there's also then the mental strategies that you and I discuss to just help us when what we like to call the itty bitty shitty committee takes over. We have tools in place to like get it back under control, right? That's the big thing. So
You know what I also did yesterday that was so out of character is I took a nap in the middle of the day.
Mm,
I haven't done that, and I can't even tell you the last time I did that, but I was like, I set my alarm for like 25 minutes and like
yeah.
just
Yeah.
nap for a second.
And for you, you know what, let's bring up this because you just got back from a huge luxury vacation. It wasn't a vacation, it was working,
Right,
right? I mean, what the rest of us would consider a vacation, but for you it was work.
right.
And I feel like you have such a great grasp on now working when you're working and and then when you're not working. And how is it for you? Like, is there anything that we've done together that has helped you transition back from when you come back from that long work, I don't know what you call it, working.
Yeah. Well, we call it a FAM. What we do, we call it a
Okay.
FAM, which is a familiarization experience trip. And basically we are exploring whatever destination we are through the eyes of our clients. So we're inspecting hotels, we're inspecting ships, we're inspecting the tours, we're meeting tour operators and tourism board, members and those kind of things. So it's actually work, but what the world sees and what the social media sees is that I am having the time of my life, which I am because I do love my job and I am getting to have some amazing experiences, but it actually is work. But I don't want it to look like work to the world.
Mhm.
I want it to look like the vacation that you want to go on because that's my job, is to inspire you to travel as a travel advisor. So, but in my mind, I needed to reframe that for myself and realize, hey, this is my job and this is I'm working, and when I'm there, I'm exhausted. I'm not playing. And
Mhm.
sometimes I'm playing, but it's a job. And so, when other people make me feel like that, my job's so easy and my job's so fun, and then I get back from these experiences and I think I've got to keep working because they don't think I'm working. And so the world doesn't think I'm working. So I have to prove to them that I'm working. But really
Yeah.
I don't have to prove to anybody that I'm doing anything, because and really make that was a huge light bulb for me in the last year or so that we've been working together. And it's something that I'm continually working on, but it's something that I've started realizing more and more that I don't have to prove to others my value, my worth.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Is that what
yes.
you're asking?
It does. And on the flip side of that is when you actually do go on vacation, I remember we really were talking about like, okay, I'm going to put these texts in place. I'm going to have an emails in place. You were really setting yourself up to make sure that you were on vacation and you were getting the rest, the relaxation, and what I'm going to call the relationship rekindling, right?
Right.
Which I feel like we all need to do when we go on vacation with our spouses, our families, our partners. You know what I mean? Like we need to come back together and just be together. And you worked really hard on when you stepped away and it was a true vacation, not work, but vacation, that
Right.
you started putting those things in place. Very proud of you for doing that.
Well, I work with a a tour operator in Italy, and actually she's in Chicago, and so we do a lot of our Italy vacations through her. And I reached out to her this week to help me with a new trip for a client, and I got an out of the office that said, "I am truly out. I will not be available until like 2 weeks from now. I am not doing any new. I'm not working on any new vacations. I am engaged with my family. This is where I need to be." And I was like, and I just wrote her back and said, "Forget my email that I just sent you." I said, "I am so proud of you, and I want you to have the best time, and call me when you get back." And that's what we all want for each other. And I was like, that's what I'm working for.
Yes, excellent, good. Okay, so last question: would you recommend someone working with to work with me?
Oh, absolutely. If I didn't, I wouldn't be continually working with you. So I absolutely do recommend anyone who is, well, it doesn't matter which stage of stress that you're in, or which stage of overwhelm that you're in, or what your mental, emotional, and physical goals are for yourself. I do believe that you met me where I am. And I know that you have also worked with other colleagues of mine, that you have met them where they are. And our goals are probably all very different from each other, but yet we are all making progress towards who we want to be and where we want to be. So 100%, it's been a great experience for me. You have pushed me. You've pushed me in ways I might not have thought I was ready for, but I'm
Let's call it, instead of push, let's call it stretched.
like stretched. Yes, I was stretched.
Yeah, it's interesting, Kristen, because when I started my business, I named it Rise Up and Live for a reason, because I truly believe that when we are in the downward spiral, that we're not rising up and we're not living, right? And we have things that we want to do. We have dreams. We know the life that we want to live, that desired life. And yet we're just spinning ourselves in circle, right? Running on the hamster wheel, whatever. And that when we truly have the techniques, when we have the support, when we have the accountability, like, we rise up.
Right.
And that is the greatest thing personally, is my job, is watching. And again, when we met, your business is amazing, right? And you rose up again to the next level.
Well, thank you. And with your help, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was, it's been fun to, it's been fun to be a part of, and to feel challenged, but also to have that, to just be proud of the things that I've accomplished over the last couple of months. And
Yeah.
a little
Well,
tired, but that's okay.
yeah, I thank you for getting on here. I truly am so excited for your success. I'm excited to come to your retreat that you're leading for
Well,
your contractors, and do a little mindset, talk with them as well, right? Because rising boats, we can all lift each other up. So that's exciting too. But I so appreciate you taking out your time today and having this interview.
and that being said, I mean, not just working with you as one-on-one coach and consultant, but also just as a speaker, you do a great job. So if anyone is looking for someone to speak at a large event, small event, you are absolutely engaging. You understand your audience, and I mean, again, that's why I'm having you come speak at our event.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like we have such a mutual love and respect for each other. So it's awesome. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go because it is Friday, and after we're done with you have the rest of your day. So, yep, you are off. Enjoy the rest of your time.